Hello, my name is Dr. Crawford. You know, today there's a lot of emphasis on genetics. If you go in for an exam, a doctor's exam, he's going to ask you a lot of questions about your family history. Does your family have this, cancer, diabetes, heart disease? Well, the fact of the matter is today that most families have all those things, and it's pretty epidemic when we look at it. So, why are we asking these questions? Is it just kind of like, well, you're doomed, you're powerless to change your fate? Well, the point of my talk today is to say that genetics is actually overemphasized for a couple of reasons, and the work of Dr. Bruce Lipton and others has shown that a couple very important things, and the most important is this, that genes are not self-regulating. So the fact that you have certain genes does not mean that you have to have a certain fate. Not at all, and that's really important, and it's also being totally ignored. Genes are not self-regulating. Genes actually respond to environmental triggers. And we'll talk about the environment here in just a minute, but based on what the environment is, we can actually change genetic expression. That's just it's exciting, and that's really a biggie. So Dr. Lipton also compared our cells to computers, and he talked about the membrane of the cell being the brain of the cell, if you will. Membranes are a lipid sandwich. Lipid layer on the outer and the inner, and a cholesterol layer in between. But the membrane has within it what's called effector proteins. And these effector proteins are the equivalent of the CPU of the computer. And they're actually reading the environment and sending the signals into the nucleus, which is our hard drive, if you will, our memory disk of our computer. And these effector proteins have an effect on the DNA and also the protein variations. You can have up to 200 different protein variations for each DNA strand. So what our cellular computer is doing on an ongoing basis is reading the environment. So we get an environmental signal. We have these regulatory proteins within the membrane going into the nucleus and having an effect on the DNA, and then we have protein variations from the same gene blueprint can take place. So this is really exciting stuff. The membrane operates like a liquid crystal, a semiconductor with gates and channels, this is really exciting. But what it does is it empowers us with the knowledge that we can have an effect on our environment and consequently have an effect on our genes. Now, what are some of the things in the environment that can have an effect on our genes? Well, nutrition for sure. We know what happens if a pregnant woman doesn't have enough folic acid. The chances of having a child with a cleft palate or a neural tube defect goes way up. So nutrition is a biggie. Also, if we don't have the right fats in the diet to make up a healthy cell membrane, our cells aren't going to function as optimally. Natural fats are fluid. Artificial fats are hard, and that's what they do to your cells. They actually harden them, and they don't function as optimally. You don't get nutrition into the cell, you don't get the toxins outside the cell if that membrane is too hard. So nutrition is a biggie. Toxicity, huge factor here. I was just reading that newborn babies now are being tested and having as high as 287 toxic chemicals the day they're born in their body. And the only reason it's only 287 is because they didn't test for more. So babies are actually being born very toxic, which means that the mothers probably were too. It was, these toxins were eliminated via the fetus. We know that stress can be very toxic. It can affect the environment. What happens with stress is that all functions basically not related to survival shut down. So if we're living in a stressful mode, we're ready for that fight or flight, we're shutting down our functions at the cellular level even. So stress is a biggie. What a lot of people are doing is they're living their lives in that get ready mode for fight or flight, but they're never actually acting on it. So they're always in that get ready mode, which is a very stressful environment. We know that thoughts and emotions have an effect at the cellular level. They carry certain vibrations, and the cells are sensitive to vibrations. And also we know that the brain and the nervous system supersede the local environment. So thoughts and emotions are very important. Beliefs are a biggie. Beliefs are a huge point. Most beliefs are housed in the subconscious mind, not in the conscious mind. So usually we don't even know really what those beliefs are. We may consciously think that they are one thing when we're housing a completely opposite belief in the subconscious. Now here's the important point about that. The subconscious mind is much bigger and more powerful than the conscious. So these beliefs that you may not even know where they came from, you may not even know where they are still running your life, and they also could be running your cellular activity. Think of it this way: your beliefs can become your biology. So it behooves us all, I believe, to explore what they may be. And one thing to look at is how we react under certain circumstances, and automatically, where we don't even consciously realize why we reacted that way. It's usually related to a belief. Sabotaging behavior is a good thing to look at. So beliefs are a biggie. And what I will do to just kind of demonstrate the effect of beliefs on the nervous system is I'll do a little muscle test demonstration here that I think you'll find very fascinating. So what I'm going to show here with a little demo, I'm going to use my friend Susan here to do a little muscle testing demo to show the effects of our beliefs in the subconscious. And as I previously mentioned, the subconscious is much bigger, stronger, more powerful than the conscious mind. So there are many types of muscle tests. There's orthopedic muscle tests, there's applied kinesiology muscle tests. This isn't any of those. This is just a simple demonstration using an arm to just show the effect on the overall nervous system when we say something that is contradictory to what we truly believe. So if I ask the question of Susan, if I have her just state her name, say, my name is...
My name is Susan.
And I test her arm, she's really strong because she believes, truly believes that her name is Susan, and her nervous system says, yes, it is. Now, if I have her say another name, like say, my name is Mary.
My name is Mary.
And hold the arm up, that has a dramatic weakening effect in her nervous system because she doesn't really believe that her name is Mary. Now, we can take this to a different level. If I asked Susan, do you believe that you can be healthy, for example, I could do the same kind of testing. Now, consciously, she may really believe that she can be healthy, but she may have some belief in the subconscious that is contradictory to that. And if that's true, we'll get a weakening in the test. And I'm not going to do that because these questions are of a personal nature. So, but just for demonstration purposes, we'll just use the name. But how about I deserve to be whatever? I deserve to be well. I deserve to be happy. I deserve to be prosperous. Whatever it is, we can do the same kind of test. I can run a mile. I am willing to change my diet. I'm willing to stop eating chocolate. Whatever it is, like that, we can actually test to see if there might be a conflict between the conscious and the subconscious. So that's just a simple demonstration of how we can use a muscle test to test what's going on there using the nervous system. And again, what we're testing is beliefs that are being housed in the subconscious. Now, a lot of times people will dig their heels in because they truly will think that they believe something and their body is saying something else. And I've had people just dig their heels in and want to argue and debate the issue and all that, and just kind of further makes the point. It's cognitive dissonance to where there's a conflict between one and the other. And again, the point is that the subconscious will usually prevail because it's more powerful and much bigger. Thank you very much for watching. Check out my website, crawfordnaturalhealthcenter.com, and like us on Facebook. Till next time, take care.